What's up guys, Tearless here. I am currently at the Temple of the Five Dawns and I am ready to bring you another class specialization overview. This time I will be looking at Windwalker monks. Temple of the Five Dawns is the class order hall for monks in general, all monk specs. If you have forgotten where Temple of the Five Dawns is, it is actually on the Wandering Isle, where you begin all of your monk adventures. Blizzard decided to use the Wandering Isle and Temple of the Five Dawns as the class order hall instead of the Peak of Serenity. There's a lot more room here, and they've updated stuff to make it look really nice, and there's just a lot more room to play around for training dummies, etc. So I'm not really complaining. Now, I will say that I tried to do this video last night, and I will tell you that Darker Nights are back in World of Warcraft Legion. This is something that I was hoping for with Shadowmoon Valley in Warlords of Draenor, and that never really happened. It is now back. It was so dark last night when I tried to do this video that I decided I should just wait until the morning before I attempt to record this video, so that is what I did. Now, this is the abilities video of the two-part series. There will be two videos, one focusing on abilities, that is this one, and then the second one will be focusing on Windwalker talents. So in this video, I'm going to be looking at the removed, changed, and new abilities coming to Windwalker monks in World of Warcraft Legion, and then in the next video, I'll look at talents. Also in this video, at the end of it, I will be looking at the artifact weapon and the talents, or I guess you could call them talents, the abilities that come with your artifact weapon. Now, before I get started, I need to kind of clarify something here. I forgot about one important thing that happened in Warlords of Draenor, and it wasn't until I started doing the write-up for my Balance Druid, which should be the next video, that I noticed this. In Warlords of Draenor, you were given those little enhancements every 2 levels that were kind of, buffs to your class, whatever it may be, a little kind of quality of life improvements. I forgot about these, and it wasn't until I looked at my Balance Druid that I realized that I had forgotten these. I believe it only affected outlaw rogues in one of the videos. For the most part, either they've been removed or they've been just assimilated into the spec as a whole. That is the case with Windwalker monks, and one of their little enhancement that they have, which gave them an extra chi. So the 5 chi is now baseline, as opposed to the original 4 chi that came out when monks were first released. So just want to clarify that there. And most of them, like I said, have either been assimilated into the class or they've been removed due to class changing, and I will be sure to point them out more often from here on out. Now, Windwalker Monk's playstyle has changed a little bit. It's moved away from the brew playstyle that was there, and instead now it's more into a combo type of playstyle, and you'll see that as I start going through the changed abilities and the new mastery. Like I said, they have changed away from the brew style, and so its mastery has been removed as consequence. So let's go ahead and look at the removed abilities so you can see just how this has changed big time. Energizing brew, excuse me, has been removed. It's now back as a modified talent, which we'll get into the next video, but for the most part it has been removed. Fortifying brew is now brewmaster only. That has been removed. Legacy of the White Tiger has been removed. Pretty much all raid white buffs have been removed from the game, so that's really not much of a loss. Nimble brew is a huge loss. That has been removed from the game. I remember when that came out, all you could hear were tears on the forums of how unfair it was. Stance of the Fierce Tiger has been removed. Pretty much any stances in the game have also been removed. Almost across the board, warriors, you name it, Death Knights, most stances have been removed from the game. Surging Mist has been removed. Do not worry though, it has been replaced with something else. Tiger Palm, its ability has been removed. The name is still there, and I'll get to that in changed abilities, but Tiger Palm has been removed as an ability. Mastery Bottled Fury has been removed, as I mentioned earlier. The brew playstyle is kind of going away, so the mastery has been replaced as well. Tiger Eye Brew has been removed, and then lastly, Battle Trance, which is what I believe a passive, that has also been removed. So a lot of abilities have been removed from Monk. Hopefully you will not be too disappointed. I personally like where the direction they are going with this. Now, Changed abilities. First is Blackout Kick. Blackout Kick no longer costs 2 chi, it now costs only 1. However, it also no longer has any facing incentives. So before, if you were facing the target, you got kind of a heal. You know, if you kicked him right to the face, you got a heal. And then if you kicked him in the back, you got more damage. Um, so that is no longer there. Now Blackout Kick is just straight damage across the board. I'll go ahead and use it here. Nothing has really changed about it. It's just straight damage with costing 1 chi. Crackling Jade Lightning has had its energy cost removed. So I'll go ahead and use this here. You can now just spam it as much as you want, and it'll continue to do damage. And it still has its knockback. So if for some reason you want the target to be away from you as a Windwalker monk, that's how you do it. You use Crackling Jade Lightning. Fists of Fury has been changed. This is one of the more prominent changes for Windwalker monk. It no longer stuns. I know for PvPers that will be a big deal. You won't like that. This change has mostly been done for PvE. I will say PvPers, if you are upset about this, I do believe there is a PvP talent that brings the stun back. However, this change makes it it's a big quality of life change for PvEers, and that is because while the stun has been removed, you can now cast it while moving. So I'll go and use it here, and I believe its spell visual has been updated a little bit, but as you can see here, I can just move all over the place and it will continue to fire. So that's really cool. I do like that. You can chase someone down in PvP. If you have a snare on them, you can chase them down and use Fists of Fury and deal an immense amount of damage to them. Resuscitate, which is your revive, its energy cost has been removed and its cast time has been increased by about 0.5 seconds. Not too much of a big deal, but they're really kind of getting rid of energy costs for abilities that really, in my opinion, don't need an energy cost. It was like they had a cost just for the sake of having a cost. That has been removed. Rising Sun Kick, its damage increase has been removed. So before, you used to be able to damage someone, and it would increase the damage done to that target for a certain amount of time. It was upkeep. I hate upkeep with a passion. That has now been removed, so that is a welcome change for me. If you guys notice right there, I did kind of a double flip on my Rising Sun Kick. That is part of the artifact weapon that we will get to later, that you will see. Spinning Crane Kick has been changed pretty significantly in that it no longer has an energy cost. Its energy cost has been removed, and now it relies on chi. So I'll go ahead and use it here. Costs 3 chi. Still the same, but instead of having an energy cost, you now have to use chi to actually activate it. Now, there is an important aspect of this to take note. And this is starting to play into the combo playstyle as opposed to the brew playstyle that they had for Windwalker monks. The secondary portion of Spinning Crane Kick is Spinning Crane Kick's damage is increased by 50% for each unique target you've struck in the last 15 seconds with Tiger Palm, Blackout Kick, or Rising Sun Kick. So I'm going to cycle through these different training dummies here and go ahead and use them, and then I will use it. You see there's a 4 down there. So now I'll do increased damage, and it still has 4, and it'll stay there, and as soon as the 15 seconds for those drops, you'll see it drop all the way back down to 1. So now I only have a 1 buff on the target, and now it's 0. And once again, I'm going to do this so you can see pretty well how this works. Go ahead and use this. And as you can see in the bottom right hand corner, or in the bottom of the screen, Spinning Crane Kick now has 4 charges. It looks like a charge, but it's just 4. And that's because I had 4 targets in range that had been hit with an ability recently. Those abilities having to be either Tiger Palm, Blackout Kick, or Rising Sun Kick. So that is the change to Spinning Crane Kick. I will say in World of Warcraft Legion, while a lot of classes have been pruned, I will say that they've done a lot more interaction with abilities. You know, X ability is enhanced by this ability, and this ability has been enhanced by this ability, which is going to increase the skill cap for these classes, while at the same time the pruning itself lowers the skill floor. So you're going to find, you know, a lot more people actually able to play the class, but at the same time the really good players are really going to shine in Warlords of Draenor. Storm, Earth, and Fire. Sorry, in World of Warcraft Legion. Storm, Earth, and Fire has been changed. It now has a 1.5 minute cooldown. It used to not have a cooldown. Now it has a 1.5 minute cooldown. And it functions completely differently, so I have to bring it up as the tooltip so you guys can see. So you split into 3 elemental spirits for 15 seconds, each dealing 50% of normal damage and healing. So that's very similar to how it was. You directly control the storm spirit, which is different from what it used to, while the fire and earth spirits mimic your attacks on nearby enemies. While active, casting storm, earth, and fire again will cause the spirits to instead fixate on your target. I personally think this is kind of a quality of life change, and I think it's nice. So I'm going to go ahead and attack this target, and when I use Storm, Earth, and Fire, I'm going to become blue, and the green and red ones are going to jump to the other target dummies, or should. There we go. I wasn't in range of the other ones, so the Earth one stayed on this one, and the Fire one's over here. And then when I press it again, the Fire one's going to jump over here to this one. And so that is how it's different. And I honestly think it's a welcome change to how it functions. And I have 2 charges on it. Just so you guys know, I can now use it again. I'll use it again on this middle one, see if we can get them to really spread out. And no, oh, there we go. Oh my gosh, that one jumped all the way in the back there. So they jump all over the place. So that is a nice welcome change, I think, personally, to Storm, Earth, and Fire. The next change ability is Jab. Jab is gone. If you haven't noticed yet, Jab in name is gone. It is now named Tiger Palm, but everything that was, a part of Jab is the same. So Jab as an ability is still here. However, it's been renamed Tiger Palm, and that's what I've been using. Tiger Palm has an 8% chance to make your blackout kit cost no chi. Generates 2 chi. Everything is the same. They just basically took out Tiger Palm ability, which kind of makes sense after they started to make it cost less and so forth. It really didn't make sense to have Tiger Palm around anymore. So get rid of Jab, which was a lame name for an ability anyways, and just bring in Tiger Palm, and that's a great change. So Touch of Death is another ability, much like Storm, Earth, and Fire, and Spinning Crane Kick, that has been changed significantly. I'm going to pull up this Dungeoneer's training bag because I'm going to need this here. You can see when I do damage to this training bag, it heals up instantly. Like, I cannot do enough damage to bring this down. And that's going to be important when I show you this new Touch of Death here. Touch of Death is no longer like an execute. Instead, use Ancient Pandaren knowledge of your anatomy to inflict mortal damage on an enemy. After 8 seconds, the target will take damage equal to your maximum health, reduced against players. So I'm not sure how much this is reduced against players, but just to give you an idea, I have 1.4 million health. This is going to deal 1.4 million damage after the 8 seconds is up. Now, do know before I show this off, Touch of Death now has a 2-minute cooldown as opposed to a 1.5-minute cooldown, just so you guys know. All right, and it also no longer costs any chi. So this is just you use an ability and it goes. So I'm gonna go ahead and use it right now. You're gonna see, and I want you to pay attention to the health bar above the training tag. You're gonna actually see its health drop when this is done. And that's how you know that the damage actually does significantly. As you can see there, 1.7 million damage. It actually did drop the training dummies bar before it actually healed back up again. I mean, the training dummy has 111 million health. So for you to actually see that bar actually deplete a little bit gives you an idea of just how much Touch of Death will actually do. Transcendence and Transcendence Transfer. Transcendence, the enhancement that was given in Warlords of Draenor has been baked in. So now it is only a 10-second cooldown. And Transcendence Transfer has had its cooldown increased from 20 seconds to 25 seconds. So do note that you will not be able to use that as often as you were able to before. And then lastly, I will mention that Zen Pilgrimage has changed. It will now take you here instead of the Peak of Serenity. So just something you should know. It's kind of a small thing, but I just wanted to let you guys know on that one. So, with that, we are done with the changed abilities. Now we can go into the new abilities. First is going to be a Fuse, and this is your replacement for Surging Mist. A Fuse, I believe, goes across to all specs, is a brand new ability for everyone. 30 energy, 1.39 second cast, a fast efficient spell healing the target for 79,000. So I'll go ahead and use it here, just so you can see, very simple. So, and also, if you guys haven't noticed, if you look in the top left-hand corner, you can actually see energy regeneration is actually a lot more fluid now. It actually shows you how it's regenerating, and it actually shows how something's going to cost and how much it will cost. You can see that blue bar is indicating how much is going to be gone, and it even shows it in my little small UI that's in the middle of the screen right below my character. That also shows how much chi I have. The second new ability that I need to tell you about is Combo Strikes, which is your brand new mastery. So let me pull this up here so you can see. Mastery, Combo Strikes. Your abilities deal 20% more damage when they are not in a repeat, when they are not a repeat of the previous ability. So if you want to run in there and spam jab or tiger palm, which is what you need to do, you're not going to get very far. But if you continue to change your abilities up, you will constantly have that 20% damage increase. So honestly, I don't think there's much skill involved in it, but it is something to pay attention to, and it does kind of play into what you can do with Spinning Crane Kick. It also makes Spinning Crane Kick a little bit more difficult because you have to vary what you use in order to get the damage off on Spinning Crane Kick. So, that is everything that is brand new for Windwalker Monk. It is very similar to how they play on live. I know things have changed with the brews, but the feel of a Windwalker Monk is still there, and I still think it functions pretty much as intended on live. Now, moving into the artifact weapon, I'm going to first show you the Strike of the Windlord, which costs 2 chi, and you strike with both fists of the heavens at all enemies in front of you, dealing 357,000 damage and reducing movement speed by 50% for 6 seconds. Now that's a 40-second cooldown. So I'm going to go ahead and build my chi up here real quick, and then I'm going to use it so you guys can see what it does. It's very simple, nothing flashy. It's not nearly as cool as Fists of Fury, but it does have that snare, and it does do a lot of damage. So with that, let's take a look at our Fists of the Heavens, which is our talent tree for our artifact weapon, excuse me. So you're going to start here with your artifact weapon. When you first get your artifact weapon at level 100, you will start here. You will get Strike of the Windlord right off the bat. And then from there, they will teach you about it, and you'll go straight into this first ability, which is Dark Skies. Okay, and you're going to have to build up, just like you would a talent tree. You have to follow the lines and build up. Now, the important abilities are going to be the ones with epic portraits around them. Those are the ones that are actually going to change, kind of how your abilities function. Otherwise, most of these are going to be just base damage buffs or something like that. Very similar to how the old talent trees worked, I believe, back in Cataclysm. That's when the last time we had the old talent trees. Cataclysm or Wrath of the Lich King, I can't quite remember. So I'm going to go from left to right and just read these all off so you guys can see what is actually available to you. First here we have Light on Your Feet, which increases your dodge chance by 10%. You have Death Art, reduces the remaining cooldown on Touch of Death by 60% if the target dies before Touch of Death expires. Now, if you remember, Touch of Death has 8 seconds before it deals that massive damage, so if it dies before that massive damage hits, then you're able to get the 60% cooldown reduction, which will give it down to, I don't know, like 40 seconds or something like that, 45 seconds. So that's a pretty good chunk down. The first major ability you're going to have here is Gale Burst. Increases damage done by Touch of Death by 10% of all damage dealt to the target during the duration. So, you pop Touch of Death on the target, you have 8 seconds to do as much damage as you can, so that 10% can be replicated even more. Looking at Tiger Claws, we have increased the damage dealt by Tiger Palm by 15%. Notice that these are ranks. you have to build up the ranks. So, it starts off at 5%, then goes to 10%, then goes to 15%. So that's how you're going to build up this throughout the entire, throughout your construction using artifact power to build up your artifact weapons. We have Rising Winds, increases the damage dealt by Rising Sun Kick by 10%. We have Good Karma, damage redirected by Touch of Karma also heals you. We have Dark Skies, increases the damage dealt by Blackout Kick by 15%. We have Spiritual Focus, increases the damage dealt by Storm, Earth, and Fire Spirits by 5%. We have Tornado Kicks, Rising Sun Kick strikes a second time for 15% additional damage. So that is what I'm talking about when I say that it strikes a second time. You have to have Tornado Kicks for that to actually be, for you to actually get that second kick to the face. Inner Peace increases maximum energy by 30. This is going to be the one that I really want to get to. You have Power of 1,000 Cranes, increases the damage dealt by Spinning Crane Kick by 10%. You have Strengthened Zuin, I hope I pronounced that right, increases the chance for Tiger Palm to make your next Blackout Kick cost no chi by 6%. I guess that will be 2, 4, and 6%. And I'm not sure if that's in the tooltip already. It's at 8%. I don't know if it'll only be 2% chance to make your next Blackout Kick cost no chi. I'm assuming that that is not added into the cool kit, excuse me, the tool tip, and that it will actually be 14%. There's Healing Winds. Activating Transcendence Transfer heals you for 20% of your maximum health over 6 seconds, so that's really nice, especially in PvP. You have Crosswinds. During Fists of Fury, Wind Spirit images of you attack your Fists of Fury targets for a total of 159,000 additional physical damage. That was kind of difficult to see. Let me see if I can show it off so you can see. There you go. You can see it right now. They're flying in from all over. That is this talent right here. That's Crosswinds. You have Fists of the Wind. Increases the damage dealt by Fists of Fury by 10%. And then your last one is Transfer of Power, Blackout Kick, and Rising Sun Kick. Increase the damage dealt by your next Fist of Fury by 5%, stacking up to 10 times. So let's just go ahead and let's see how that rolls out here. We'll go ahead and use this and try not to lose the buff from combo. I just lost it right there. He's running out of abilities. And we're still at 7 stacks, 8 stacks. You can see in the right-hand corner here, we're at 9. 45% increase. There we go, 10. We'll use it now. And now it'll do a whole lot more damage. So, that is a nice ability to have. It's not necessarily an upkeep, but it is something to pay attention to, and it brings more complexity to the class, the specialization. So, that is everything with Windwalker Monks. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. In the next video, I will be looking at the PvE talents and then looking at the honor talents. So I hope you guys enjoy this, and I will see you guys in the next video. Cheer this out.